this ride.
It's devastation that was predicted, but the grim reality of this storm's raw power defies imagination. Ian, now a tropical storm, hit the coast as a fierce hurricane, shredding homes apart in Placida, Florida, tearing off roofs and splintering trees, while in the Tampa area, extreme winds causing this tree to crash through a home in one of the hardest hit areas for
15 minutes later.
We are minutes from daybreak on the Gulf Coast of Florida, and as that sun rises, we are witnessing what is a catastrophe unlike anything that state has seen in years. One of the most powerful storms to hit America in recorded history. Hurricane Ian, we're talking about. It did weaken to a tropical storm overnight, taking a bite out of the Gulf Coast there, but this storm is far from over. It is now churning to the east.
Yeah, tropical storms, as we know, can so cause a lot of damage, and here's what it looked like as the storm made landfall yesterday as a Category 4 hurricane, slamming communities along Florida's west coast with devastating storm surge, a deluge of rain, and violent winds of up to 150 miles an hour. We've got a team of correspondents in the state led by CBS Evening News anchor and managing editor Nora O'Donnell. She's in Tampa. Nora, good morning to you. Some of the video I saw didn't even look real.
Yeah, good morning to you, Gail. We have an incredible team on the
Much later.
But now to more coverage of Hurricane Ian. The storm is on the move this morning through central Florida.
But not before leaving homes and entire neighborhoods underwater in southwest Florida. Also this morning, more than 2 million Floridians, as some numbers say as many as 2.5 million, are without power right now. CBS 4's Christian Benavides is the latest from Orlando.
Keith Maribel, good morning. Here in Orlando, we are feeling the effects of the storm as it moves east after it caused widespread destruction in southwest Florida. The concern here in central Florida is for historic flooding. Jacob! Some Good Samaritans in Bonita Springs, Florida jumped into action, rescuing an elderly man trapped in his car in rising floodwaters. Scenes like these somewhat common as Ian roared into southwest Florida with a vengeance as one of the most powerful storms ever to hit the U.S. This morning, Ian is still churning its way across the state after making landfall yesterday as a Category 4 hurricane with 150-mile-per-hour winds. The streets and the sea became one and the same across the region, like in this neighborhood near Naples.
It's been that surge that has been the biggest issue and the flooding that has resulted as a result of that. In some areas, we think it's hit 12 feet.
In Tampa, strong gusts sent this traffic light crashing to the ground. At its peak, the hurricane knocked out power for some 2 million people. Even with the lights out, this hotel remained open for those escaping the storm.
I just pulled in, no reservation or anything. I mean, by that point, I was in a panic. I was in tears.
Flooding forced CBS affiliate Wink TV to move to another newsroom location until a power outage knocked the station off the air.
Even though the storm has weakened, the danger certainly has not passed. As it moves north and east, the National Weather Service is warning significant to catastrophic flooding is expected to develop in areas throughout the day, like here in Orlando.
The Orlando airport began canceling all flights yesterday until further notice, stranding some passengers.
Now we're just gonna kind of hang out until Friday.
After passing through Florida's east coast today, Ian is expected to move onto Georgia and South Carolina's coast tomorrow. Power is completely out in the most affected areas, but even here in central Florida, in nearby Polk County, about half of customers are without power. In Orlando, I'm Christian Benavides, CBS 4 this morning.
Well, you got me. By all accounts, it doesn't make sense.
So now we want to take a moment now and play an extended portion of a video that really does capture kind of the extent of the damage that happened around Fort Myers. The viewer who shot this was hiding out at what looks like the second story of her own home, and then she points out that her house isn't just damaged, her house is gone.
So that's my grandparents' house. That one right there on the ground. I can't see anything through that window. It's going down. This is, we don't know whose cars most of these are.
Going down in a storm. I don't know if
The water's still up, but it's going down. This is a house from across the street at the beach.
It's so bad. Like,
There used to be a tree right there.
no, we called everybody. Call 911, call Coast Guard, do anything.
Take y'all to the backyard.
Always smelling it, smoke and gas.
Well, first, we'll go over here. This is all gone, all the way back. Still standing water. This was my grandma's house. Not really anymore. Go to the backyard.
You know what I did with my little flashlight?
We set up all of this to get to higher ground, but obviously, thank God we didn't have to do that. So this is our back porch right now. I'm just gonna come out here and show you the backyard. Somebody's RV came in our backyard. That's our pool. That's our deck. That was my house. My house is gone.
Oh, my goodness.
So
And, you know,
that's,
she sounds as calm as can
that's
be
my
expected in a
grandparents'
situation like that.
house.
But you can only imagine the devastation she must be feeling. And sadly, we can't expect to see more damage like what you're seeing right here. We do also want to let you know a 2-day curfew is in effect throughout the Fort Myers area. And that really is just to kind of keep the roadways clear for the emergency crews who are going to have to go out to areas like this, make rescues, assess damage, do everything they need to do to keep you and the rest of us safe.
This is how legends are born.